All right, guys. So there's been a lot of NHL news recently. The biggest news in the last few days is actually yesterday morning that the Maple Leafs, Brendan Shanahan, they decided to not go forward with signing Dubas to an extended contract. So Kyle Dubas's contract originally was set to expire for this year. He had to sign a new one. Just yesterday morning, they decided to not go through and sign Kyle Dubas. And I did want to look at this Sportsnet article here, talking about how the negotiation went. Obviously, they would have a long conversation about this stuff. So let's just take a look at it. Before we get into it, remember to leave a like on the video down below. It takes you a few seconds. It's completely free. It will help the YouTube algorithm. Hit the like button and subscribe if you want more videos. So what's interesting to look at here is that it was ultimately his decision, Shanahan asserted. So this is interesting in a number of ways because it's possible that Shanahan already had ideas about changing up the team if they lost in the second round. It's possible that he already has a new or a few new replacements for GM lined up, and that Shanahan thought that this was the best way forward if they lost. Yeah, so it says here back in summer of 2022, that was Dubas's fourth first round exit with the Toronto Maple Leafs. So obviously that's not a good record at all, losing 4 consecutive playoff series in the first round. That's just brutal. I don't know how any fan of any team would accept that as being okay. So I definitely understand why Dubas was fired. And if you looked at my previous video, which I will link right about now in the cards, you kind of check out why I think Dubas should go. I kind of explained all the bad trades he made, his idea that you could just trade away a bunch of prospects, trade away a bunch of draft picks, and sign all these players, just get all the star power you can. Unfortunately, in the NHL, that doesn't really work. Obviously, you've seen it with Toronto. You've seen it also with the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers are a different story because they don't really have the same exact cap structure as the Toronto Maple Leafs, but at the same time, they do have a few really large contracts compared to the rest of their team. So you could compare them similarly. This wasn't really like Dubas did such a bad job that he needs to get fired right away. No, it was more like it's kind of a misunderstanding. Possibly Dubas is looking elsewhere himself. I'm assuming here that he wanted more money than Shanahan was prepared to give him with his new contract. And if you notice around the league, you'll see, I believe, the Pittsburgh Penguins have an open general manager position. I know the Nashville Predators just hired Barry Trotz to fill that role for David Poile. I believe he's retiring. So there's a lot of teams that could require a new GM in the coming season and also in the next season after that. So I believe Dubas is kind of prepared for that and possibly could be looking to relocate elsewhere, just considering the climate here in Toronto with Shanahan. And then the second big piece of news was that the Arizona Coyotes are not gonna go through with the Tempe Arena project. And the reason is because they had a community vote deciding on key issues in terms of the Tempe development. And the unfortunate truth is that the vote didn't go through. There was more no votes than yes votes. I'll show those results up on screen right now. But that's just a really unfortunate decision there by the residents over in Arizona. Obviously, it's probably too expensive. They don't see value in creating this massive arena district. And I kind of understand that. I know that it's probably going to come out of the taxpayers' pockets a little bit. Definitely not going to be 100% on the owner, which is a little bit unfortunate. I wish the Coyotes owner was a little bit more investing in the team. And overall, in just Arizona, it's a bad situation. They have to play in their college arena, Mullet Arena, for next year. And even worse news for Coyotes fans, and I guess the NHL in general, is that Logan Cooley has announced that he'll be returning to the University of Minnesota for his sophomore season next season. And this is really just not good news. Obviously, okay, for his development, I don't mind the decision. Possibly it can turn out that he wins the national championship, gains even more skill, gains even more size than he had last year. So, in terms of development, I'm okay with it. But just in general, for Arizona, they're missing out on a star player who can probably be inserted directly into their lineup right now. So that's just really disappointing news for all Arizona fans as well. So yeah, in terms of NHL news, that's really it for today. In terms of my YouTube channel, I'm not really sure I want to report on news. I feel like there's too many people on Twitter already doing that, the professionals on TV. And that's it for this video. Just a little bit of a news breaking video. Let me know if you liked it. Leave a comment down below. Do you like the fact that Arizona is moving on? Where do you want to see them go next? Do you want them to stay in Arizona or move away, possibly even to Canada or to somewhere like Houston or like Utah? Let me know in the comments down below. Definitely subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.